World of Tanks Black Market, SAC 105. This is the current item up for bid. It's called Jason's Special Offers. This is a Tier 8 tank destroyer. It is a double barrel gun. It is an overpowered vehicle. I definitely highly recommend it. It looks like you need 9,496 more gold. Okay, I don't have any gold. So the minimum bid is 10,000 gold. They've got 5,000 available. Let me take a look at this vehicle. So obviously it's an open turret. There are 5 crew members. There's no radio operator. There are advantages to having, usually you want more crew members, and the reason why is having 2 loaders means that some of the perks, you're going to be able to put some on one and some on the other. When you have fewer perks, it's better to have more than one loader. And also, if one of them gets knocked out, you have another one that's still playing in the game. So the great thing about this vehicle is it has a 270 penetration. For Tier 8, that's one of the highest in the game. That puts it on par with being able to penetrate virtually every vehicle, including Tier 9s and Tier 10s. It's not going to be easy to penetrate the Tier 9s and Tier 10s, but you can definitely penetrate virtually every vehicle in the game. For Tier 8, this is going to put you in the top 2 or 3 for penetration, such as the STRV. It looks like it's a 4-shot autoloader. And the aim time is 1.63, which is one of the best in the game. The best I've seen is 1.44. The dispersion is 0.38. That's nothing special. It's kind of average. 1,100 hit points. The hull armor is only 40, which means that Tier 2 tanks would be able to penetrate you from at least the side. Maybe not so much, it's not so easy on the front. The engine's not that great. View range is not that great. So let's see if I can add this to comparison, and I'm going to check some of the other data. So we want to see what the gold rounds are going to be like, right? 320 average penetration. That means it has the penetration of a Tier 9 or Tier 10 vehicle. With Tier 10 having 320 penetration with your regular rounds is pretty good. And then for the high explosives, it's 53 penetration, which is kind of average. The damage is 390. That's pretty good for Tier 8. And we've got to look at the top speed. Mobility, top speed 49. Oh, sorry. Not the right vehicle. And then I'm going to compare it to some other Tier 8 tank destroyers, and we'll see how it does. I apologize that it's taken so long. So is it worth it for 10,000 gold? That is around 50 bucks, $40. Yeah, I think so. If I had $40 and it was a couple of years ago, now I've got like 400 tanks. It doesn't make sense for me to buy anything anymore. I think it's worth if you can get it for 10,000 gold. On the North American server, it's going to be easier for you to buy because there's just fewer people bidding. And you can see it's taken forever. Okay, I'm going to go to the comparison instead. So we go to Garage, and then I go to Tier 8, and then Tank Destroyer. and I will add a bunch of them. Only got a few more to go. These are all premium vehicles. Okay, so you see that for the reload time doing pretty good, and that's the only factor where it's better than the other vehicles. For penetration, it's better than virtually everything. So the STRV has higher penetration, and the ISU 152K has higher penetration. In terms of damage, it looks like it's just kind of average. It's a good average, though. Aim time, 1.63. It's definitely better than virtually everything. We got a 1.49 over here with my TS5, which could have something to improve the aiming on it. And the armor, it's actually it's actually better than all the light tanks. For example, it's better than the Scorpion G. So with that, the penetration is definitely, it's better than the Scorpion G. It's comparable to the Canadian Jagdpanzer, and the STRV is 288. Being the autoloader, 4-shot autoloader with it says 10-second reload time. But we don't know if this is an autoloader or an auto reloader or reverse autoloader, etc. So do I recommend it? Yeah, I would definitely recommend this vehicle. This is the SFAC 105. This is from France. And I'm going to look at the French tech tree. So you've got the Foch line of tank destroyers and the AMX. We're going to check the AMX has 212 average penetration. We'll check with the Top Gun. And keep in mind that the Foch B is an autoloader, as far as I remember. You can get 257 with 400 damage. Not 270, but it's also an autoloader. My advice is go for the AMX AC instead of the double barrel one. You could get the double barrel one, but you could save a lot of money and get this one, and you're going to get a 3-shell autoloader with 1 barrel. It's going to do 400 damage, 2.7 between shots, and for $40 you could easily get this tank. The Foch is going to have the same gun, and the Foch B has the same gun. So you get a tier 8 vehicle has a tier 10 gun. So don't feel bad if you can't get that vehicle, because the Foch B is also pretty good. The Americans have heavily armored tank destroyers, and the Germans have a little bit of both. I don't think this is high penetration. The Russians have a little bit of everything. Wow, that penetration is horrible. 135. 260 penetration with 750 damage. So it's better than a lot of the other vehicles, but maybe you'd rather save your money and get the Italian vehicle. Let's check out the Italian vehicle. This one has only 220 penetration, 3 shells in the magazine. You could get 300 penetration with the gold rounds. If you're gonna pick another vehicle to put your money on, buy this one, the SMV CC67, and get the gun that does the 300 penetration with the gold rounds. It's not 320, but the armor on this is going to be really good. Let's check the armor. .260 hull armor and 230 turret armor, which means it's going to be better than Tier 8. In terms of Tier 9, it's going to be competitive with Tier 9. Once you get to around 260 armor, Tier 9, that's a lot of the tanks. Tier 10, not so much. Yeah, I would recommend go for this one instead if you can't get the auction. So to get to the auction, you're going to go to the store, and then it should be the first link on the upper left. You also might get a message over here that says Jason's special offers. And I apologize that it's so slow. It's probably because there's a lot of people on the server. Got 12 hours left. Doesn't show the number of participants. It says the bid is updated every 10 minutes. According to this, nobody's bid for it. And this is where you make the bid, obviously. Okay, so that's the SFAC 105. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. And I have a special offer where you can get a new account for World of Tanks, and you'll get some silver, you'll get a free tank, and the tank that you get is different depending on what country you're in, and they change the offer once in a while, so you got to click on the link to see what the offer is. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.